Yo, what's going on, guys? Today, I briefly just wanted to talk about my experience with the Modern Warfare 2 beta and kind of like the direction I see the game going and the changes I would like to see implemented. Not sure if we will get any of those changes, but I'm at least going to list them out on this video and we can hope for the best. Now, for this entire video, guys, I want you to kind of take it with a grain of salt. I normally do play on PC, but for this beta, it was only available on PlayStation this weekend. So I did have the mouse and keyboard in there. There was a bit of delay and I wasn't really used to it, so that did hinder the experience a little bit. So just keep that in mind before you judge the game too harshly. Now, also, before we get into this, I just want to say I am winging this. There is no script. I'm just kind of giving you guys my thoughts and feelings, and you might agree, you might not. I've been playing Call of Duty for a while. I'm not bashing the game just to hate on it. I do want to see it succeed, and I know the potential that it does have. So I'm going to start out here with time to kill. Now, time to kill is probably the fastest I've ever had to deal with in any Call of Duty. I could be wrong, but I don't really know the values off the top of my head. But oh my god, I felt like I was getting two bulleted in almost every engagement, which is not very healthy. I tweeted out earlier this week that time to kill is not only nerfing movement, but any aggressive type of play is going to be an indirect nerf when low TTK comes into effect. Basically, in this beta, because there was no like sprint to speed or ADS attachments, there was a couple, but not enough to like counteract the issue. Basically, like if you chose to play aggressive, by the time you would be able to pull your gun out, and like sometimes even before you can ADS, you're already dead because you're getting 2 to 3 bulleted by someone just posted up holding an angle. Overall, though, this just affects player confidence. Also, match pacing, people are going to play a lot slower, and this also, I believe, does lower the skill gap a little bit. Not really any movement outplay, and I don't really understand the point in lowering the TTK when we have things such as hardcore mode, or if people are so concerned with realism, they can honestly go play that. Now, another large issue a lot of people are saying about the beta was the minimap. Basically, the minimap is not going to show any of the suppressed or unsuppressed fire. It's going to aim to keep players focused on the gameplay rather than corner of the screen. Fortunately, I just don't think this plays very well, and even like in COD 4, I saw a post on Twitter about the suppressor being in COD 4 like 15 years ago. We basically already solved that issue, and now 15 years later we're kind of reverting that, and it's kind of just like, it doesn't seem like Infinity Ward or Treyarch or Sledgehammer, any of these companies really learn from the mistakes we fixed from the last 15 years. And just as like a longtime fan for the series, this is kind of annoying, and it is honestly just a really hard pill to swallow. So yeah, they also commented on the minimap today. They did address some of the feedback. I'd say 90% of the feedback the community, the creators gave, they're just going to kind of ignore, unfortunately. But yeah, it doesn't seem like they're going to be fixing the minimap anytime soon, you know, which is, it's kind of a shame, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. Hopefully it does get fixed. If not, we'll just have to deal with it. Next thing I want to talk about is the Ghost perk. Basically, the way the perk system works, Ghost is in the very last slot. And in the current state of the beta, you wouldn't be able to use like any perk from that slot about like, I don't know, like 5 minutes into the game if you're really popping off, but on average like 7 or 8 minutes into the game even. So by the time you get like the perk, not only is the game almost over, but you've already been UAV spammed out of the lobby. And if you're like me and you play solo a lot, it's just going to toss you in games that are in progress already. So what that means is like you're basically just going to get thrown into the blender with teams that are already UAV spamming. And basically you just can't escape it. You're just going to appear on the minimap, which also slows down the pace of play. And it's just going to punish those players that are trying to play aggressive. Another thing is dead silence. I know a lot of people were complaining about it. I actually didn't mind it being a field upgrade. I know a lot of people would prefer it be in a perk slot. I really don't mind it either way. Something I thought that was a little bit annoying though compared to Modern Warfare 2019 was that dead silence is not going to give you a speed boost. So yet again, it just seems like Infinity Ward is kind of nerfing like aggressive play, and I don't know what the reasoning is. Maybe they're just trying to keep the casuals as happy as they can, but yet again, just another nerf to any players that want to play aggressive. Now, just to kind of touch up more on the perk system, I actually didn't mind it. I think it can be refined. It can be optimized. For example, like Ghost, I think in the last slot is a huge issue. I didn't really see the need to change the perk system. I thought the previous ones were fine, and you know the classic system has always worked pretty well. But I guess it'll just take some getting used to. Maybe they will switch some perks around. Like maybe they'll put Ghost in like the first and second slot. Who knows? But yeah, I know a lot of people were complaining and want it reverted to the traditional perk system. But for now, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Another huge issue I had while playing this on the PlayStation, and I believe this was in Vanguard too, but could be turned off with a setting, was like the muzzle flash, visual recoil, and the smoke. I'm all for like visual recoil because I do think that adds a little bit of a skill gap You're not really getting beamed across the map with an automaton or whatever the gun may be in Warzone when they decide to add it over there. Um, but yeah, the smoke and muzzle flash, I just don't really see it being necessary. I definitely think they should add settings to either reduce it or remove it entirely. But being on keyboard and mouse, you pretty much like get screwed like pretty bad with all the muzzle flash and smoke, because on keyboard and mouse, man, I mean, you have to see what you're shooting at. Like, you have to do the reacting, you got to see your target. Controller players, it is a little bit different. You can get more assistance through smoke and stuff. You can get a little bit of like tug, and I'm not making this video to debate aim assist and keyboard. That's a video for another day I don't look forward to. But more of the story, it's not good for either side. Console, controller, PC, mouse and keyboard, doesn't matter what you're on. Just overall decreased visibility is not good in my opinion for anyone. So hopefully they tone it down a little bit. This is going to make gunfights more fair and more consistent across all parts of the map, different conditions, environments, and I really hope they do address it. Next, I want to talk about player mobility. I was actually watching a Warzone video. Shout out to Repulse, he made it. He was talking about his thoughts and opinions on Warzone 2.0. He basically did what I'm doing, but he did it specifically for Warzone. Basically, he said like overall the game just felt super slow, and if they plan to transfer that into a map that's bigger than Caldera and Verdansk, I don't think Warzone 2.0 is going to hit it off really well. COD is pretty much known for being a fast-paced arcade shooter, and to revert from that and like revert from what made Call of Duty so successful kind of does not seem like a smart play to me. But like I said earlier in this video, with like the sprint to ADS time and the ADS time, trying to play aggressive in this game just does not work, and you're going to get punished for it by anyone that just picks up a controller, mouse, and keyboard and is sitting and just pre-aiming an angle. Personally, I like to play fast. I know not everyone does, but if you are a fast-paced player, you are going to have a hard time with the current state of this game. Also, the movement just feels a little bit clunky, so maybe if they could increase just like the base movement speed, smoothing up the dolphin dive and the slide, I think it would help out a bit, because in its current state, there's absolutely no point to slide. You don't get any speed boost. Can't shoot while sliding, and it doesn't reset your tac sprint, so it's almost like sliding will hurt you in a way. Next, another thing new in Modern Warfare 2 this year is reload canceling. This is kind of going to another realism aspect they decided to incorporate, but basically in every Call of Duty before, if you started your reload, you could either cancel it with a YY or you could sprint. However, in this Call of Duty, whenever you start your reload, even if you switch your weapons, come back to it a couple seconds later, your reload is still going to be the same progress-wise, so you will have to finish it. You cannot cancel your reload. And honestly, I don't mind this like all that much, but it is something that a lot of people don't like, and I just think it'll take some getting used to. Another thing a lot of people were hyping up in the beta is slide canceling. Even like the first day, I believe Shotzi or Blue, whoever it was, discovered a way to do it. But basically, I do think they are going to take it out. I do think they're going to patch it, so there is no slide canceling in this game. And I don't really think there will be unless they decide to keep it in. But even if it is in this game, it is very different compared to Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone 1. Basically, like I said with the slide earlier, it's not going to reset your tac sprint. You can't shoot. It's just, there's really almost no point to slide canceling. So I'm pretty indifferent about whether they take it out or not, but that is just something to note. And unfortunately, I knew this would happen, but disbanding lobbies as well as skill-based matchmaking are back. Like MW 2019 kind of introduced super heavy skill-based matchmaking, and this tweet from TP I think pretty much sums it up. Hey guys, we looked at the feedback from week 1 and we decided that we don't care and are going to keep it the same because it helps sub 1 KD players out based on our internal stats. Okay, have fun in week 2. So if you played any of the last 3 Call of Duties and you have not been a fan of skill-based matchmaking, I regret to inform you that it is not going to be going anywhere. It is very prominent. I noticed it on the beta, even on console. So yeah, that is here. It is back. The disbanding lobbies, they're still a thing. You're not going to be able to stay in the same lobby, and vote for maps. That is not returning. So don't get your hopes up for that. But yeah, man, it just seems like they are using stats and using data that is going to help their series make money. And at the end of the day, it is a business. I do understand it. It is just very unfortunate and very annoying for us players, that do play. We're the dedicated fans, that play it all the time, every single day, put our heart and soul into it, spent the time back in the day to actually get better. And now, because we did develop that skill, we're just kind of getting punished for it. And I'm just not a fan of skill-based matchmaking. I hope they eventually tune it down one day or completely get rid of it. Even just like a light form of it, I think is necessary, but In its current state, the skill-based matching is just way too like overtuned and overdone, man. I'm so beyond tired of it. Overall, man, I think that's pretty much most of my criticism, at least like the main points for the game. I'm not nuts about graphics. I never really cared too much about graphics. I thought the game looked fine even on the PlayStation. I do like the gunsmith. I do like a couple other things that they have done. This video is mainly about my criticisms for the game. I doubt anyone from Infinity Ward or Raven or Treyarch or any of the studios will probably even watch this video. But on the rare chance they do, maybe they'll take some things I said into consideration. I know they probably have read and like have addressed most of the stuff I discuss in this video. I'm just hoping, you know, they can implement some of these changes, especially before Warzone 2, because in its current state, if Warzone 2 launches like this, I really don't see it lasting, man, and I'm kind of worried for the future of it. But yeah, anyways, yo, if you guys have had a chance to play the beta, drop a comment down below with your thoughts and opinions on it. If you haven't played it yet, let me know what you're looking forward to, not looking forward to, kind of thing. And yeah, but anyways, guys, I don't normally talk this much in any of my videos, but if you guys did enjoy this little rant video, drop a like and maybe I'll do more like this in the future. Anyways, though, I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. Enjoy the beta if you are playing it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.